Welcome everyone to another episode of Games Fault Podcast.
Yeah.
I'm your host, Michael, and today we're talking about a number of things.
No Chris today. He's off.
He's
not doing hosting duty. He is here, but he's not going to be speaking.
He's at a Star Citizen conference, which he's paid $1,000 to attend, and he gets to look at Chris Murray. What's the guy's name?
Chris Roberts. Sean Murray. Sean Murray. That's No Man's Sky.
He gets to shake his
They're
hand.
the same person.
I know how you feel, Grax.
And he gets to look in his eyes for 2 seconds, and then has to obviously avert his eyes because.
But they promised, like you would go on a spaceship and not go into space. But in the end, it was just like some guys hanging out in an office. So yeah,
they put you in they put a black sheet over you and you're in space.
But they kept showing videos going, it's coming soon. You won't believe when this actually comes out. It's going to be fucking awesome.
And you were allowed to look at what's his name, Chris Roberts.
Chris Roberts.
Chris Roberts.
Yeah.
You can look at him for like 10 seconds and then you had to avert your eyes.
Yeah, because
don't look at the leader. Don't look at the leader too long.
Because you got to pay for 20 seconds.
Yeah. Well, and
his eyes for 20
he's a
seconds.
deity, so you can't
You don't usually see
Should
him.
we
He
start?
just drives past in a Rolls Royce and waves out with a white glove on his hand.
Thank you for paying for this.
Yeah.
With your fake
One of his 10
money for my
his 10
fake
solid gold
spaceships.
Rolls Royces that he has.
Should we start?
Yeah.
Sorry.
All right.
Sorry.
Have you hit record?
Yeah, I've been recording.
All right, so that's all.
Yeah, we got
You
all
might
that.
as well stop it because I'm cutting all that out.
Well,
What?
Chris is unfortunately is editing this week, so
What?
I think
This
I don't know
is
if
gold.
That was
It's
gold.
not.
It is to most people.
This
It's
is
just 'cause you
banter.
guys- yeah, we're only joking.
Yeah, but there's no flow or structure to.
Yeah, that's fine.
we just made it-
People
we just
like
made-
it. They get what they're...
No.
We just made a good
This
little
is
riff
like
on
an-
Star Citizen. That was
Yeah. It's like a trailer. Like, people know what it's going to be like. It's going to be just this.
It sounded very unorganized and poorly executed. Sorry.
The funny thing is, if we were talking about any other thing
Yeah,
that Chris wasn't
I reckon.
involved in, he'd be like, "That was brilliant, guys. I'll definitely put it in first." We wouldn't say it's brilliant, but he'd say it's acceptable.
No.
Why is Grax
Well,
so quiet?
listener, why don't you...
You two
let
are
us
just
know you
rambling.
keep
Because
this
you're
in.
boring the fucking shit out of me.
Damn.
Please.
Damn.
Grax is someone tired.
Jesus.
All right.
All right. Fred.
All right. Should we?
Chris looks pissed off.
Yeah, it's just like
Fuck.
you fucking cunts.
Grax is pissed. All right.
First the shirt, now this.
All right.
Just kidding.
All right. Silence. Hello and welcome to Control Alt Record. My name is Chris, and with you for this episode is the full team. Brett, Grax, and Michael are all here for the next 60 or so minutes. We'll try to keep it on time this week, actually, because last week we were last episode we went for 90 minutes, so we'll try to keep it more on track this time, I think. Tonight's episode, we're going to start with our regular news. We'll try to make sure that doesn't go for 50 minutes this time. 2 Point Hospital, Phantom Doctrine, Scum, and if we have time, we'll try and squeeze in a little Frostpunk. Actually, no, Brett.
Quiz.
We got the quiz as well.
Yeah.
Exactly. Sorry.
I could
we did
just
the quiz. If you do like tonight's episode, please jump onto iTunes and give us a review, as well as jumping onto your respective podcast apps and do the same there. Check us out on Twitter with @CTRLALTrecord, and also you can find us at our email, which is CTRLALTrecord@gmail.com, and just search for Control Alt Record on Facebook. But that's about it. Let's get into the show.
Can I just, before we move straight into the show, remember I was saying during the week that we could offer the, if anyone was to share our show, we'd give them a shout out. Remember that insane plan that I had?
You did have an insane plan. Do you want to describe it?
Well,
It was actually a good idea. I thought it was a good
Well,
idea.
thanks, Grax.
Oh my God,
I agree.
Grax,
That was good as well.
So basically, dear listener, if you were to share our episode, and we would like a direct link share, so you go, check out this episode, it's really funny, they talked about this, whatever the hell you want to say, and
Say fuck.
Lie through your teeth. Lie through.
you say that, and you show us take a screenshot of you sharing it, and then in the next episode we'll basically big you up at the start of the episode, say so and so, thanks a lot.
And you wanted a message as well?
Yeah, anything. We'll say anything.
Yep.
We'll be your monkeys for 10 seconds.
They got to say something positive though.
Yeah, if you want to
Not
get
necessarily.
No, whatever they want to say. If they have a pool
Chris will
pump,
take care of that for you.
if they have a pool pump repair shop or a Lamborghini store, whatever they have, we're basically selling out. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, basically. Sell out, sell out, sell. No.
And you can just share it and show that you've shared it, and we'll talk about you for 10 seconds or whatever you want us to say. So nice.
Let's see what response we get.
Okay, brilliant.
Beautiful. Cut to jingle.
You're listening to Control Alt Record.
So first up, I don't know if any of our listeners have noticed that Streets of Rage. I've had two drinks.
Streets of Age.
Streets of Age. It is an aging game. It is an aging game. It's been a good sort of couple of decades since this game has been had any sort of entry into the franchise. Streets of Rage 4 is coming in the near future. So that has been announced by .emu. So I think they were the publisher. So they're returning to the traditional side-scrolling beat-em-up Streets of Rage. So no idea when this is actually coming, but there's been no actual announcement announced. Yes, I've had a drink and a half, and I'm already getting my. I should really put my drink down just because I'm slurring my words a little bit. So we don't know when that's actually going to be coming out, but I'm excited for this. I'm definitely going to give it a go.
We watched the trailer earlier. I like the art style. I like the music. I don't like those style of games. I think they're fucking boring.
I disagree. I think they're really fun.
Why?
Yeah. Well, we were talking a little bit about it before, but I was saying when you're a kid,
you're not a kid anymore.
Now, yeah, but I think like playing one of those with your friends, with a friend or friendser, you can sort of. It's not going to last you more than a few hours, but you can have a good time.
Mm-hmm. No, I actually remember... Sorry, Grax, you go?
I was just going to say, just looking at it now, it reminds me of like Altered Beast and, Golden Axe, Double Dragon, all those side-scrolling punch-em-up fight 'em games. It looks pretty cool.
Yeah, it's more like,
I feel like that style of game is almost dead. Like, they don't really come out anymore.
There's been a couple, actually. There's been a couple of multiplayer... Castle Crashers.
Played that one.
Castle Crashers. It was pretty big a couple of years ago. It was one of the early indie Xbox releases. Castle Crashers. They had a new one that came out recently that I can't for the life of me remember the name of it, but it's just something. Pit People just came out, and that's like another big one. But it adds like sort of, I think it's a bit of an RPG element as well as the bash 'em up, whatever.
So it's sort of got the old style 2D graphics with like almost like sprites.
It's very stylized now. Like looking at the trailer, if you haven't checked it out, just YouTube it. Streets of Rage 4. You're not going to go too far without not being able to find it. But it's very.
Don't write Streets of Age 4.
No, not Streets of Age. You probably anyway. But no, it is very stylized and cartoony compared to the pixelated.
I sort of wanted to see new graphics and stuff. I think that would be cool.
It was new graphics.
No, but like done
in
with
style,
Unreal 4 engine type.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
That'd be good. With like good physics and stuff, and like you kick people, I don't know, off a bridge. It'd be good.
No, I think what that looks like they're trying to capture is that 90s sort of style 2D scroll.
Yeah,
side-scrolling beat 'em up.
Looks like they just made the same. It just looks like Streets of Rage 2, just like the same game
it's again. It's kind of boring. Like you just sort of wander around and hit things and
and it's like one frame between like having your fist back and having it all the way extended, like it does that.
But then if you have anything different, then it's not really Streets of Rage, is it? It's just something entirely different.
Well, you could add like items and something in there.
They do. There's like they had even in the first ones they had like
crowbars and chains and stuff.
Yeah. So there are items.
There wasn't much of gameplay
chains
shown
the worst
in the trailer.
weapon.
Chains.
Yeah, like they've always in those like 90s games. You always get a chain. Like it would be the worst weapon.
If I was getting into a fight and someone was like, "Do you want this chain?" I'd say no.
No,
I'll probably hit myself with it.
Yeah, because exactly. Have you ever flicked a chain around? It's dangerous.
Can't say I have.
I have.
Okay.
Loads of people were hurt.
You just pick it up and you go, all right, well, let's see what happens like in the video games. It flings around wildly.
Do you know one thing I do wonder? Like, you see in movies when you get people with chains and they start wrapping the chain around their fist and, to punch people. And it's like, wouldn't that hurt just as much your fingers?
Yeah.
I was just thinking about that too.
Yeah. Or it's like if someone gave you like nunchucks, and you have no training how to use them, you would just like belt yourself in the head.
I could get like one good hit. Like if
that
I whack someone,
very funny to watch.
Yeah, just get one good hit and that's it.
Yeah, but it would probably hit. But
if you miss,
it would swing back around and like crack you in the face.
Sorry, Grax, you were. What was that?
I was just saying, watching people with nunchucks that don't know how to use them is very entertaining.
Do you know how to use them? I feel like I've seen you with a picture of nunchucks on Facebook.
I do know how to use them.
That's wild.
Ooh.
Tell us more.
I think we need like a video.
It's not really game related.
No, but it's nunchucks. Nunchucks are cool. Anyway,
do you have nunchucks?
They're illegal in Australia, man. Why would I have something that's illegal? Don't know what you're talking about, bro.
Okay, say theoretically, if you had nunchucks and someone broke into your house, would you use them? Or do you think it would be an advantage?
It wouldn't be the first thing I reached for, no.
Yeah.
What other weaponry do you have?
I was going to say, are your nunchucks locked up in a safe?
It wouldn't be the first theoretical illegal weapon that I'd reach for.
Probably the shotgun would be.
When you've done martial arts since you were 5 years old, there's pretty much everything like that.
Where's the nunchucks from? Are they Japanese?
Aren't they?
It's a rice flour. It's Japanese rice flour.
Rice what?
So is it used for like smashing the rice out of the husk or whatever?
What?
Basically, yeah.
I thought they were for hurting people, but I didn't realize it's a farming tool.
That kind of happened.
Like farming tools.
Evolved over time.
Yeah, that's interesting. They'd probably originally have like a longer handle and then a shorter flail on the end.
Oh, so you just like flick it along and
and you'll smash the... Yeah.
And they also like someone got into a fight and went crack and all that. Actually works very well.
Hey, that's a good idea. They would just use that. Hey, right.
So there you go. Keep an eye out for that one. No idea when it's coming, but I'm sure once we hear a release date,
we'll probably play it for 30 minutes and get bored of it.
Well, that's right. Actually, that's what I was going to say.
Exactly. That's what I imagine would happening.
Yeah.
Like, I actually remember there was a game on Steam, I think it was last year, that was basically like Road Rash, but I can't remember what it was called now.
Is that the really terrible one?
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
It was considered like one of the worst games ever made.
I think so, yeah. No,
Yeah,
Bike racing.
I think I very much,
what's it called?
I think I played like...
Bike racing with chains and nunchucks.
Yeah.
No, look, I would type, but everyone gets
racing.
upset when I use my keyboard to bring it up during recording, so I won't do that. But no, there was like a spiritual successor type game for Road Rash, and it was jump on your bikes and around baseball bats and chains, and actually I think you can get guns in that particular game.
See,
and you
surely using a chain on a motorbike would be so dangerous.
Yeah, that's another stupid one.
Like if you're flinging a chain, like okay, it might
so
someone it might
to
hit
just sort
you,
of
or it might
try
go
and
into
knock them off the bike.
It might go into your chain, like the chain of your bike. And
I don't think trying to hit anyone while you're riding.
No, it's
like
really
going
sensible.
100 km
I mean, that's why we play video games,
yeah,
so we don't have to do things like that.
I prefer a realistic.
Yeah, but look at all the other games we play. Where is any attack move in most of them sensible?
Well,
using guns like in shooters is probably a way to go.
I don't know, if you're playing a boxing game, you can go to a boxing ring. Might be the only place that's sensible for it. Anyway, let's move on. on that sort of...
What other weapons can you use?
Great segue.
I want to know more about weapons. Grax, can you use any other weapons?
He sounds very educated in the
Welcome to
discipline.
Grax's Weapons Podcast.
Can you use any other...
This is all theoretical, though.
Of course. Yeah. It's all completely theoretical.
A sai? Could you use a sai? Remember those?
It'll be size.
Yeah, size. Well,
I don't know if Raphael
always...
He had two, Raphael.
Yeah, but I don't know if you always used to. Surely, would you use a sword and a sai? Because I thought it was like
they're like an anti-sword weapon.
Yeah, so you'd have one-hand sword and then you'd like disarm someone.
I thought
you guys are practically experts. You don't need.
I thought you just block the hit and then you can
talking
twist the sword and then you can like stab him with the other side.
Oh, right.
I thought that's how it works. That's how it did in Ninja
So
Turtles.
complicated, though.
So Ninja Turtles is basically a documentary.
Yeah.
Contrary to popular belief, sai aren't sharp.
I never thought... Well, Brett thought that. I didn't think that, Grax. So.
I didn't say
There's no the ends aren't pointed either.
What's the point of that?
Why? Yeah, why is that?
There's
another farming tool.
They're a disarming weapon.
Yet another farming tool that's used for picking up hay bales.
Oh, right. Is there any weapons that aren't a farming tool?
complicated.
It's like, I'm just trying to wonder, like,
Samurai
what
sword,
else?
katana.
Because look at like guns, farmers have those, so it's basically a farming tool.
It's just
In Australia, anyway.
What like hand-to-hand weapon would you use if you had to specialize?
Yeah,
in
Wolf
one?
Creek.
If I had to have one.
Sorry?
Yeah, if you had to specialize in one.
Oh, sword.
Really?
Definitely. Yeah, I feel like sword would fuck anyone up. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it seems like less likely that you're going to injure yourself.
I'd run a lance, so it wouldn't need to get near anyone. And
you need a horse to go with it.
I'll get the horse and the lance and just
so practical.
poke people while I'm
Because you can do it from a massive distance.
Someone's got a gun. That's going to work.
Yeah.
No, it's medieval Latin, so everyone has weapons.
What about a crossbow? That'd be pretty sick.
Yeah, crossbow, yeah.
But that's not really hand-to-hand.
I thought that's not hand-to-hand. That's cheating.
Yeah. It has to be like a hand-to-hand weapon.
Bringing a crossbow to a
I
side
reckon
or a crossbow
a bow would be good as well. Like a bow.
Well, okay, let's say it can't be ranged. It has to be like...
No, I mean a bow is in like a bow. Like a wooden bow. Like a big
pole.
stick. Basically a big wooden stick.
So what type of sword? Or are you just saying sword?
I was just saying
like
some
sword
sort of
in
Yeah, probably
general?
not. Yeah, like a samurai sword or something.
Okay, all right. I can't say I've really thought about it, to be perfectly honest. But
Is this just I can have one or I get trained in it?
No, it's like... And then it's like the whole world turns to PUBG medieval version.
But then you got to think what's more portable as well. Like, would it be good to just use like a small knife for people? Because you can just like have it concealed.
That would be my preferred weapon. Yes.
Yeah,
a knife.
Because you can stealth with it.
I
You walk around with a massive sword.
Because you can
on your
stealth
back.
with it. So you can't see me. I've got a knife. I'm stealth. I've got a knife.
Yeah. Yeah, you can hide in the
Well,
bushes.
you're talking about medieval where people's wearing heavy armor and can't move that quick.
I don't know what we're talking about.
I don't know. It was
Email in. What's your favorite?
what is your favorite weapon that you
Yeah.
wish to dismember someone else
What
of
weapon
the
would you
human
like
race
Max to
with?
talk about next fortnight?
No, I just reckon land so you don't need to get near anyone. You just
Yeah, but you need a horse though. It's so
Well,
impressive.
the horse comes with it.
Yeah, but like, what if you're trying to go inside? It's like,
you
just don't go inside.
What about-
They come out?
It sounds like you. No, I think a
doesn't-
pike is more what you're thinking of.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah,
Rather than
I
a
think-
land.
yeah.
Pike's pretty cool.
But then,
That-
as soon as
that's
if you
like a-
miss like one, and then they're next to you, like
I think isn't a
I'm
pike
fine.
like an anti-horse weapon? Because like
Yeah.
they're really long, like they're made
Yeah.
for that. But the problem is someone just kind of goes close to you, and you're like, fuck.
Yeah, okay, but then as you're coming out with your sword, it's like, huh?
Yeah, what if you? What if they kind of run? Or the two of them? Then what? And they both come at the same time.
Well, you get the one, and then you throw the other side, and then you run off the other way.
I guess, yeah. I think running the other way is a good idea.
Get a sword,
don't,
just chop
don't
them.
get involved with more.
Yeah.
Don't be non-aggressive.
yeah.
That's
Why are you
what I
fighting people anyway?
Email in ctrlaltrecord@gmail.com
That's another good one.
and let us know your preference of death.
Medieval weapon.
Anyway, let's move on.
That's like 20 minutes of sword
I know,
talk.
just
Far out.
so several months ago, you would have heard us talking about particularly like European countries looking to ban loot boxes in games and making them illegal. So recently, in the last sort of couple of days, recently in the short term, Belgium has now made it illegal for loot box style mechanics in games to be deemed as that's it, you can't have them, because of their mechanic of putting money in and having a randomized chance to get something out. And therefore, if you don't get something, you don't get what you want, encourages you to, I guess, throw more money, and that's where the gambling sort of side of it comes out.
Fucking definitely gambling.
So because of that is now definitely illegal in that particular country. I think it's also illegal in the Netherlands as well. That is another country that came out with it. Blizzard are removing loot boxes from their games Overwatch and Heroes of the Storm in Belgium specifically for the time being.
Did you see anything about it spreading like through the EU? Surely it would spread to the rest of the EU.
No, there's nothing I haven't seen or read anything about it spreading, but the fact that it took months and months and months to get to this point, I just don't think, I think when it comes to the digital era, countries just can't keep up with their own laws to make things happen fast enough. This took ages to even get Belgium underway and things like that. So, no, there's not. I haven't seen anything
quicker
about
through like Parliament, through EU Parliament or something like that, and then it goes through, spreads through the rest of the EU.
Look, I guess if a particular country like Belgium has set the precedent, maybe it would be something that, we better get on that bandwagon because, it's a terrible thing because parents can't control their kids when they're playing their video games.
But it's also, it is a terrible thing because loot boxes are shit. Like, who cares about kids? Like, it is a good thing, I think. Do you think it's a bad thing?
You mean in terms of making it illegal?
Yeah.
No, I think if you're an adult, you can make your own decisions.
Yeah,
For kids, though, I don't know. Gambling. It is gambling.
It is gambling. No, it's 100% gambling.
Yeah,
it is 100% gambling. I don't doubt that. You are
but
putting
it's like,
in...
but this is what will happen because we know gambling is very lucrative.
Yeah.
If the biggest game companies are putting gambling into games to be lucrative, then more games will have gambling in it to be lucrative. Of
course.
So then we'll suddenly have, unless it's stopped, which they've probably done it. I don't know why they've done it. Maybe they think parents, but I just think,
No, they're doing it for
it's
the children.
healthy for the games industry to stop gambling. Like, fuck it right off. Like, I'm
I
glad.
wonder if there's any, like, if kids are using those loot boxes and stuff, if it sets off any sort of trigger of gambling for them to, as an adult, if they, I wonder, you need the sociologist or psychologist to...
That's a good point,
But,
actually.
yeah, would it sort of encourage them when they're...
where
they
it's
think,
a
I
study
go to
for
a casino
someone's
because I like
thesis.
to get that sort of...
I like that,
fire,
the random chance and a reward.
It's like a fire gets lit under them a little bit.
Because we're still addicted to like grinding since EverQuest.
that fucked us up our whole lives, basically.
And if kids are addicted to like random result, one of them being a large good result, that's gambling.
that'd be a hard study to do or to even prove, but it's definitely...
Well, I
plausible.
think it's definitely true. So
I'm
probably
sure
will lead to
all
gambling
it'd take
addiction.
is someone to get a bunch of stats, and then you can make the stats say whatever you want.
Yes, I think we should ban video games, to be honest.
Ban video games.
Yeah,
that's a bit. Okay, that's a bit far. I mean, we're just talking about loot boxes for now.
Just fucking calm down.
So, Grex, you were sort of mentioning there about stats. So you referring to like stat fudging. I mean, what type of stats are you talking about or thinking of?
No, just generally speaking.
He's just saying
you can make a survey say whatever you want if you present numbers to people.
Yeah, it's like
he's being cynical about data.
What he's saying is if EA did the study, they would say no, it definitely doesn't.
Well,
if EA did the study, they'd be like, "Here's the answer. Please pay $5.99."
So here's the thing. So when when the Belgium Gaming Commission looked at this particular sort of situation,
gaming or gambling?
No, this says gaming.
Did it say gambling?
No, but the gaming's probably gambling. Gaming.
Oh, yeah, true.
Gaming and racing.
So
haven't I? Sorry, everyone.
Some of the top games that came out to sort of have this discussion with the authorities is the Star Wars Battlefront 2, FIFA 18, Overwatch, Counter-Strike Global Offensive, and they were sort of the main ones, but also Heroes of the Storm has been taken out from Blizzard just because obviously if Overwatch is getting hammered, they're going to have to take out anything from Heroes of the Storm, since that does have loot box elements in it and mechanics. Now, the actual Battlefront 2, when the commission was actually sort of saying, like, hey, we need to stop this, Battlefront 2 dodged a bullet here because of the upcry that every gamer had about the...
Upcry?
Sorry.
Anyway.
In-cry? Out-cry?
Uproar is what I was going.
Side cry?
That the
or outcry.
Yes,
it works actually. Uproar. It's like a combo of uproar and outcry.
He's just coined a new phrase.
Upcry.
Trademark.
I like outroar.
Outroar. That the gaming community had with the loot box mechanics that they had put into their games, and because EA took them out, Battlefront 2 wasn't actually really a game that was really looked upon poorly by the Belgium gaming and the gambling commission and their authorities because they removed it. Now, because FIFA 18, I'm not sure if you're aware, but in FIFA, they have it in the NBA 2K series as well, is they have a particular game mode where you can collect the players. And it's usually in FIFA 18 or the FIFA series, it's called the Ultimate Team, where what you can do is you can purchase packs. And in those packs, you get randomized cards essentially, and in those cards it could be particular players. So that's why FIFA 18 is one of the big ones. FIFA 18 is the biggest moneymaker for EA.
That's so dodgy, I reckon.
Primarily because of this particular game mode. Now, the EA have basically said that they don't believe that it's not gambling, and so they're going to keep it in.
Fucking surprise!
So they,
no, it's not, because I mean, you're not getting money; you're getting shit that's worthless than money. So it's like gambling without the payoff.
Yeah, it's even worse.
Yeah, it's just like it's gambling where you just throw money away.
Yeah.
It's actually literally worse than gambling because there's no chance of getting more money.
They don't give you anything.
That is bad.
Because they're giving you digital.
No.
Yeah, because they're giving you nothing of value. They're giving you a fucking virtual soccer player.
No, that's right, exactly. But that is.
But I mean, there's nothing.
No.
I'm maybe talking to the wrong person because I'm not going to say anything. But maybe the initials SC might mean something to you. But.
No, because
that is worthless. That is a digital soccer player. It is not the same as money.
Okay, so if with the Ultimate Team, and this is also in the NBA 2K series, if you actually pull a particular card, and that's a particular high top player,
people will pay
you can actually go and sell that on marketplace.
Yeah, but it's not actual liquid cash. It's not.
No, like, but then hang on. If you can sell it for money, then it's as good as money. Or
just
stocks,
because
it's not as good
like
as
that.
money. It is
it's
possibly
not.
as good as money.
It is while it's worth a certain amount.
It depends.
Well,
if it's worth $10, it's worth $10.
Once you sold it, yeah.
So it's actually that it's an in-game currency. Just because you can't then go and take that in-game currency and buy a coffee down the road doesn't necessarily mean that to that individual has no value. That's what they're paying for.
Yeah. I'm being flippant, but I'm saying, when you gamble, normally you get money, but this you get stupid shit.
In a traditional sense, yes.
Yeah.
But
you get a fucking...
It's like those things at Time Zone where you get like a crap teddy and most of the time you don't get anything anyway.
Yeah, crap teddy, or bubble gum.
Yeah, it's not something...
Why wouldn't you just buy it? Why wouldn't you just buy the crap teddy?
Yeah, even if you win, it's like it's worth less than what you spent. Like there's no chance.
That's usually got.
That's what that's like.
Yeah. There's no chance coming out ahead.
So we'll see. But no, we'll see what happens now with the other European countries if they decide to follow suit and start implementing
this is a good point. This is why we must also ensure that children and adults are not confronted with games of chance when they're looking for fun in a video game. I think
No,
that's the point. When you buy a video game, we pay $90 for a video game. You shouldn't also have to go, well, by the way, you have to go into the casino and give us real money to enjoy this thing.
I mean, look,
mad.
I think it's something that doesn't need to be in video games. I don't think it does.
No,
but if I see it, I'm not. I mean,
I hate it altogether. Even for cosmetics now, I've
the worst.
gone off it.
I like I said in the last episode, I've kind of gone off that now, where I was fine with cosmetics because it's not breaking the game.
Yeah, fuck
but when I start seeing things that you can only get that particular cool looking cosmetic because it's behind a loot box system, and you can't get it any other way. If you can get it in the game, you just got to work for it, like you should in the game.
But I feel like we've already discussed last week or the week before that when you know it takes away some of the value when you can get it by buying it. Like when you know the only way to get it is through hard work, it makes it better.
Yes,
100%. Anyone want to throw in any last minute pointers or lines about that particular topic? I know it comes up so much because
Bored
it
of
is.
talking about loot boxes.
I know it comes
See,
up a lot.
it's almost like our
think it's
theme,
good. Oh, sorry.
anti-loot box. We should change the name of the podcast.
To
Anti-loot box.
cast.
Control Alt Block.
I think it's good. I hope the whole EU bans it and it goes away. That'd be
I
great.
if they were just a fad, the loot boxes, and they just disappear.
Yeah, this is good. I think this is
fucking
actually
awesome.
quite good. I'm actually feeling quite happy.
My concern with it, though, is that if they completely eradicate it and everyone, votes and they get rid of it, the companies like EA and all that, they're not stupid. They're going to find another way around it, and it'll be slightly less shady or whatever. But they're always going to be.
What
They're
about
in
just
it to
like
make money.
making good games that
That's
people
the- well,
pay,
that's the-
and they become
That's-
bestsellers that people pay, and then they make
Because they've
hundreds
been
of millions of dollars.
they've been
Exactly. That's what it should be. But we all know that's not the case, particularly with that.
because they've been
particular
rewarded
company
for
and a
doing
couple of
dodgy
others.
shit. Like rather than making good games,
They're trying to make a shortcut.
Yeah.
and
shortcut
they've
to
been
getting the
rewarded
riches
for the
rather
shortcut.
than-
Well, here's the thing. So, Battlefield 5 is just around the corner, and there's a lot of analytics coming out about how it's doing absolutely terrible in pre-order sales. That it's 85% behind Call of Duty. Yeah, 100. Yeah, good because
Why though?
because it's EA, and I think they deserve to be punished.
There's one.
Oh, I thought it was. I just wish all pre-orders would.
No.
do
Call of
8%.
Duty,
That'd
like
be great.
right now, I mean, there's a lot of different things behind why it's probably doing so poorly. It could be because maybe people have had enough of EA products, particularly after Battlefront 2, and they're going, nah, we're still sticking it to you. Other theories, which is probably the more common, is it's been released right in the middle of Call of Duty Black Ops 4 on one end and Red Dead Redemption 2 on the other, and they're going,
I feel like there's too many other interesting games coming out, and like,
Which is probably
for
why-
I really like Battlefield, and I really like Battlefield 1, but for some reason, this Battlefield, I've just been like, meh. I just don't care. Like,
I don't know if that's relevant though, because Battlefield and Call of Duty have always released at the same time of the year, close to each other, and it's never been a problem before. There's got to be more to
I mean,
it
I
this
care
time.
even less about Call of Duty.
Yeah,
to be
yeah,
fair,
yeah.
But I don't know, just yeah. I'm
but
sure it'll be a fun game. I'll probably still get it at some point, but
no.
I've just got other.
See, the other
games
thing
I wanna
is
play.
that there's
Feel
another.
free to gift it to me. I won't be buying it.
The other thing is actually a lot. If I don't want to go into it because it's going into the world of social justice warriors. There's a lot of people bagging it out because a woman was portrayed as like the main as the hero, and not even that. Only that it's like it's a woman with a prosthetic arm, and it's like this isn't historically correct. And EA starting. I mean, like I said, there's a lot of stuff online, and I'd more encourage.
When's it set?
World War II?
World War II.
Oh,
but it's like, why are they focusing on that and not all the other ridiculous things?
That happened in the trailer.
Yeah, there's
and,
so much. Like nothing in it is historically accurate.
This is actually there was I'd have to
It's like
find.
it's a reimagining of the war with set in the future.
I think it really felt like watching. It was like it's actually like a little bit steampunk. It's got a steampunk type thing, and it felt like, but it felt like Call of Duty watching that trailer, like just way over the top action with no realism.
So
just
want to tack on to that a social justice warrior piece there about fucking women. It's like what? It's like get over it. It's a game.
You're getting confused because the social justice warrior are people who are going to say the women should be in it. It's like.
No.
It's I don't know, lunatics who there's other, I don't think that's the right term for people who think women shouldn't be in it.
And there were women in World War II.
No, there was, but I think
really
what they're trying
Justice
to,
Warriors.
the Russian
History.
snipers, they were the best.
But what
and
EA
the night witches, they used to fly planes.
there was a statement that came out from EA.
Australian Women's Land Army as well. Keeping
Were they in World War II?
Yeah, well, they were. Well, yeah, they weren't actually fighting, but they were working on farms when.
Well, that's not really. Yeah,
they were literally called the Australian Women's Land Army.
They were 7,000 kilometres away, like farming, but yeah, they're basically involved.
But I don't know if this is
Actually,
probably...
women were involved in in the Australian Army. There was we had a Japanese prisoner of war camp where we had Japanese soldiers, and there was a breakout, and women. It was in the army served in getting that breakout under wraps. So Australian women did serve.
I'm sure they
in
have.
a military sense in World War II.
I'm sure
and
they
there were
did.
also lots of resistance groups, and the thing that
I mean, that's what Battlefield 5
they're
is
saying.
going for.
They're like, it's a resistance group, and some of them they had women in them.
What are they called?
Like the Polish.
What are they called?
The Polish ones and the I can't remember now.
But look, there's a lot of it online about why the pre-order sales are doing so terribly. But and then the last bit I was going to add to that was there was an EA spokesperson that sort of came out with this whole stuff about women being in the game was around basically if you don't like it, don't buy the game. And so because they're telling people stuff yous, people are going, all right,
I don't
fine.
reckon it's that. I think it's just like.
Well, they're going to
people
say
just
that. They're
bored
going
of
to
it.
say, "Oh, misogynists aren't buying our games."
Basically,
they're going to say that, but it's like,
I think
Yeah,
most
that'll be
people
the
don't
comeback.
care, and I think it's more people just kind of getting bored of Battlefield, or there's too many other good games coming out, like Red Dead Redemption and Cyberpunk and stuff.
Yeah,
you know? I think
that's right.
there's just
And
other interesting new games that's not the same thing, just recycled.
I think it's probably just coming
different
down.
genres.
I think it's probably just coming down to the fact that they just released it at the wrong time. Like it's coming out in October.
It's just everything comes out in October.
Exactly. And then the reason why they call it Broketober is because you just run yourself broke buying video games.
Yeah.
And
I've never heard that before.
you've never heard of that before?
No.
No, that's because you don't play video games.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. But you know, you've got like Activision they've locked their crowd in with Call of Duty. Like it's just the same repetition every single year, but they have a fan base that are not going to be swayed in any way.
That's fine.
And they get
like
it.
Good
And
luck.
then out comes Battlefield 5, and then like a week later is Red Dead Redemption 2. The reason why you're not getting your sales is because you released it at a dumb time of the year. You probably thought, we're EA, we can do really good. Let's put it here right in the middle of all the good stuff, and you failed.
Also, isn't Fallout 76 coming out around the same time? as well?
November.
Oh yeah,
November 1.
Just that October November period's very. There's a lot of stuff coming out.
Partisan fighters.
Partisan Fighters, there you go.
Yeah, partisan fighters. That's what.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
So also what was released by CD Projekt Red a few days ago was
That's got to be the worst name for a video game company. I think I've
CD Projekt Red?
Yeah, I think I said it every time it comes
Aren't
up.
they like they're Russian or something? Aren't they?
CD
not
Projekt?
They're not
Red.
Russian. They are
Ukrainian? There's something like that.
They're that
Polish,
direction.
maybe because it's like that direction. Wow.
They're that general.
I'm
area
saying
of the
Polish
world.
because which is a
No,
Polish book, but I don't
can you
think
just
they are
Google that
Polish.
quickly?
Ukrainian.
I don't exactly have a quiet keyboard, so
Just copy CD. Just copy that.
CD
Alright, paste it
Projekt
into
Red.
Google.
It's
bad
Polish
name.
video game publisher
Polish.
based.
They are Polish. I
in
said
Warsaw.
Polish, didn't I? So that's 1 point for me on the quiz.
yeah, that's how it works.
No, Chris said that general area. It's sort of,
That doesn't count. You said? Did you say Russia? What did you say?
You said Russia.
No, I said Poland.
No, what did you say? Russia.
I said around somewhere
So one
near
of
Russia.
you, no.
So
You,
that's-
I think Brett said Russia, then Ukraine, and then you were,
Yeah.
and I was like that area.
Yeah, I know. And then I agreed with him.
And I said Poland and was correct.
Yeah,
Well,
because
yeah.
I gave you a hint. It was that
Yeah,
particular area.
It is that area. It's Eastern European, basically.
It's Europe.
Sort of. Isn't that?
Anyway.
Yeah, well,
Anyway.
it is, yeah. But
So a couple of nights ago on Twitch, CD Projekt Red had some sort of weird stream of just randomized numbers and
was weird
letters for like several hours. Code. It was basically. It was like
Went for
like the
ages.
Matrix, but
It went
different.
for
it was code, but it wasn't like ones and zeros. It
like
was
the
letters.
Matrix, but a little bit different.
Yeah, like that,
I
but
was
going.
on night shifts. I started work at 10:30 at night, and it was already going then.
Yep.
And it streamed until 3 o'clock in the morning, and that's
So that was like
when
a
the,
good
That's a good way to
5
do
to
it.
6 hours of Matrix
Yeah.
code. Matrix in the sense that it wasn't
I think
green.
that's a cool way to kind of do it.
the symbols go. It's not ones and zeros. It's letters and numbers and other zeros as symbols, and it's going horizontally, not vertically. So in every sense of not the Matrix,
But it
is
is
what
like
was.
the Matrix
like
because it's like that code.
Yeah.
A code. It's a code.
And it was
on the
doing that for
screen.
like obviously 6
Just,
plus
yeah,
hours.
lines of code.
That's like a trope, almost like a trope.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then after the time period hit, 3 a.m. if you're on the east coast of Australia and
What's
wherever
that
else
in
you are.
Western Australian time?
1 a.m.
Well done.
I know. Yes, I got that one
That's
right.
1 point for...
Yes.
So Grax, you're one behind so far on the quiz.
And then they dropped a 48-minute gameplay trailer. Sorry, no, it wasn't a trailer. It was a gameplay reveal. And it was, I thought, pretty damn awesome. So
Second the motion.
it was cool. It was just, if you're not sure, it's Cyberpunk 2077. There's no release date yet. It is a first-person role-playing game. Looks absolutely fantastic.
Like Deus Ex sort of game.
Very Deus Ex like.
But open world, maybe? Is it open world? Does
It's meant.
anyone know?
They are saying
Yeah,
it's open world.
it's open world.
Skyrim Deus Ex.
Hopefully they sort of back off on the cutscenes and dialogue a little bit. That would be nice, as opposed to The Witcher 3.
So, Chris, did you see many cutscenes? I think we're all getting quite distracted by this and we should turn it off.
So okay. So
we've just got it on and quietly.
Like right now, we're not playing the audio, but because Brett and Michael actually haven't seen. Really
I watched
much
a little bit.
You watched about 5
I watched
minutes.
like a car chase. That looked pretty cool.
So it is all. Sorry.
It wasn't really. I didn't get the sense that any of it was cutscene. Like there were scripted events, but you triggered them by, or the person playing it triggered them by conversation
Yeah,
narrative.
but a scripted event is a cutscene, yeah?
No.
it's
because you're
not,
playing
so
through
it's
it.
not,
While you're
not
still
in the sense of a
controlling a guy.
video. Like
Oh, that's all right then.
Yeah,
as
that's
long as
fine.
you're in control.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean...
It's where it like cuts
there's the
completely. You
scene
can't
in
do
the
anything.
Ripper doc
Okay.
where you get on the bed and he's replacing your cybernetics and stuff.
Oh, so
That-
it's a bit like Borderlands too.
that was kind of cool.
Yeah. Sorry, we just realised having this on isn't good because we're all just sitting here staring at it. So it's amazing.
So there are other things in it where, because it's in the future, there's all sort of modifications and cybernetics and things like that you can do to your body to enhance.
Oh, so you got items. That's quite cool. It looks quite... It's actually
reckon
looks
it's
a lot
fucking
better than I
sweet.
thought.
Yeah, it looks really cool. It looks very cool.
So that might be that's a dialogue interaction there, is it?
Yeah, yes, there is a dialogue interaction. So it's like sort of in the sense of like maybe Fallout, you got a particular character and you get, option A, B, C, D.
But that's
which
cool
one
because
do you
he's
want to
still
pick?
like he's just talking to him and he's still kind of controlling his guy.
You
Like
can look
it's
around.
not, it's not
Yeah.
totally cut off.
But the thing I liked about the whole dialogue options, like the narrator spoke about, was the dialogue options and the story options are different.
Yes.
But depending on whether you're a male or a female, depending on what stats you chose in your character build, depending on what gear you're using at the time.
That shit never works out though. Like, there've been game developers have been saying that since fucking Fable came out. That shit never matters. Like, it never is dramatically different. It's like, oh hey miss, or hey sir. Like, it's always gonna. It's like so. It's so like.
So it's just that's the difference.
Yeah, it's like fuck all. Like it makes no major difference to the gameplay. Which, like, I don't really care because I think they should.
You're not gonna. Are you
Well,
gonna end up on a totally different
from what
mission
they were
path?
from what they were showing, it sounded like it could
But
go.
it's not the mechanics
you've
aren't going to be.
you've got
It's not
stealth
really going to be
you've
that
got
different.
frontal assault options, all these different things that change the story.
So one of the things, I guess, the mission that
So it's Deus
they
Ex.
do sort of show in the particular in the clip is about how there's different ways to approach a particular mission, which is
Deus Ex.
not just it's been done before. But for example, in this you're trying to retrieve a particular item, and you can either go in guns blazing, you can go in pay for it, you can go and speak to like a particular operative that also wants to
It's like D&D.
do bad by the people that you're going in for, and then depending on which option that you decide to take is going to sort of build different relationships with different people within the game. Look, I get very sucked in by that, but like you say, Michael,
I think it
doesn't.
I think it looks
often pull
awesome.
off.
I'm already sold on it.
This looks better than what I thought it was going to look like.
I think
to be
it looks
honest.
wicked.
So if you haven't,
Chris, at the end of or towards the end of the demo where the character came out of the warehouse and spoke to that female executive or whatever she was at the end of the trade.
like the corp.
So
corp-
one of the other dev review things that I watched the other day, they were talking about another demo or another playthrough that they had participated in, and that particular NPC was dead and was replaced by another one because of a decision that they made. Mm-hmm. And
See what I mean?
Changed that story arc.
But can you see how it's like it doesn't that exactly proves my point that it's like, oh, that NPC was dead. Oh, so they replace it with another random NPC. So your decision actually doesn't matter because there's still an NPC there. It's just got a different coat of paint on it. So that's what they do. They try to sort of ham it up like, oh, it's such a big difference.
The story around it was
because
different.
It's the same person who's been reskinned. So it's actually completely the same fucking thing.
It depends. Is it a linear story? And if that's the case, like, you're not going to be able to go and kill NPCs that are part of the storyline because it will fuck up future missions and stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So I don't really think it's going to...
Depends how scripted it is and how...
I think games have been saying that for a very long time, and they're never going to do it because it's just impossible. Like,
there's a story to follow.
It's impossible if it's an on-rails story that they're trying to get you to follow.
See, this looks very... Like, this guy's following you around, this Jackie dude.
Yeah, so, like, if you kill him
and
he's
exactly,
dead,
you can't kill him.
You can't progress in the game,
Yeah.
and the game just ends. Or there's, like, a whole another mission.
Or there's another... He's Jackie 2.0, so what does it really matter that you killed him?
Yeah.
Like, so really there is no actual choice.
I don't really know yet, though.
I think
the art style looks wicked. Like, it looks really cool.
Yeah.
Interesting sort of...
Yeah.
I highly recommend looking at the trailer.
Yeah. So the gameplay does go for 48 minutes. I would definitely recommend, sitting through it and
I
watching
think you should turn it off because it's distracting me
Yeah.
really badly.
So
Right.
I've never
It's
seen
making
anything like that before.
Yeah, it looks fucking
It
awesome.
looks good. Like, I'm ragging on it, but it does look like that Half-Life thing where you can sort of look around during cutscenes and things like that. I like that.
It doesn't look like there are cutscenes. It just looks like you talk
Yeah.
to people and
There
keep
was,
moving around.
to be honest, like earlier on in the clip when you get to sort of save in a particular sort of NPC, it does kind of cut back to your apartment and you're sitting there brushing your teeth or having a drink of whiskey and things like that. And it's like that you're not
As
controlling.
long as it's minimal,
but
that's fine.
for the 48 minutes, I think 90 to 95% of that was the interactions you're actually controlling and walking around.
What's the release date on this one?
No idea.
There isn't one yet.
No idea.
It's
They're
when
saying,
it's done.
they're saying
When it's done.
potentially next year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
It looks pretty
But,
well. Go ahead.
like
Brett.
towards the end of the 48-minute video, they increase the skills and weapons of the character to show you what you can do late game, and some of the abilities and the skills looked amazing. Like this, he was I was sort of on a ledge above two NPCs that he was about to kill, and he hacked one of the NPCs to make their gun not work, and then attacked the other one, and it was just funny to watch. Like, he's killing this guy, and the other guy with a fucking gun is standing there going, well, fuck, what can I do? It was just a really interesting sort of gameplay mechanic.
It's a very Deus Ex Bioshocky sort of.
Don't want to say Bioshock.
I don't look like Bioshock to me.
But no, Bioshock, you have to sort of
Elements
choose
of?
your abilities to, like,
that's
obviously it
fair,
doesn't
yeah,
look like Bioshock, but I
That's
mean,
like every game now.
you choose your ability
choose
and then
ability.
you sort of
It's like 1,000
specialize.
games.
Anyway.
Ah.
So there you go.
They were very quick to say that there's no class system. Like, the class system's fluid based on what you want to do with your character and the weapons and cybernetics that you equip, which I think is cool as well, because that doesn't lock you into a style of gameplay if you feel like you've made a bad decision and have to restart the game. So I think that's a cool idea.
But you see, at the end of the day, like I find with
it's definitely got a lot of potential, and I'm really looking forward
and
to
I think it's
seeing
going. I think it's going to be awesome. It looks absolutely awesome. But I sometimes feel with classes in a single player FPS is sort of a bit redundant and just silly, because it's like, at the end of the day, I don't care what abilities I've got. I have a shotgun or an assault rifle. I am shooting you. So
Yeah.
that kind of a feel to, it's not an MMO where it's like, okay, your abilities are how you kill things. So go check it out. It is awesome. And really looking forward to that one. So coming out tomorrow is 2 Point Hospital. Now, this is this like a sort of, is it a sequel or a
It's like
successor?
it's a spiritual, is that what they call it?
Is that what they call
to Theme Hospital, which was a Bullfrog game which came out in 1997, I think. And
Is it the same people?
no, well, Bullfrog doesn't exist anymore. It's one of the companies that got
No,
this.
I mean, like, is it people from Bullfrog that have
I
remade a company
don't
or something?
think so.
Well, it doesn't have, what's that lunatic,
Who? Bullfrog?
yeah, wasn't, that was,
Did you know Bullfrog was destroyed by EA?
no, I didn't know that, but I
Yeah.
thought, who's the Fable guy?
Oh, no.
Oh,
no.
Malkovich?
Yeah,
No,
not him. I don't think it's him. Yeah.
Sonta Man?
Anyway,
Sonta Bulka.
it looked like, I've only seen there's some gameplay videos and stuff, but it looks, you basically, it sounds like building a hospital. Doesn't sound that interesting, but actually, if it's anything like Theme Hospital, as it really was.
So what to you made Theme Hospital like What
it's
is it?
very quirky. Like it's not a sim in any way. Like it's not people come in. It's like, oh, I have AIDS or anything. It's like they come in and they've
Balloon
got like
head.
balloon head, and then it's like you have to get a machine that like pops their head and stuff, or you'd get I'm trying to remember some of the other conditions that they would have. I can't even remember now.
So they're not real medical conditions.
No,
they're more funny-
because I think
funny
that's
stuff.
It needs to be
Yeah,
something
it's
you
all
can visually
stupid.
see. Like I can.
Like there's a guy with a light
elephantitis
on
of the left testicle or something.
There's a guy with a light on his head. We can see. Can you just scroll up a bit, Chris? So you could probably see some of the conditions. There's like some ghosts running around. There's a guy that looks like he's turned into a zombie.
It is a very comical, cartoony
it's
style.
stupid.
Yeah, so it's
game.
more of a relaxed, light-hearted kind of piss-take
Yeah.
fun game,
There was lots of
as opposed to a surgeon simulator or something like that.
that was as well. But if you're sort of familiar with the Bullfrog style of games that they used to have, like Populous and Dungeon Keeper and stuff like that, they always had a real humour-based element to them.
Molyneux. Molyneux.
Populous was
Peter
awesome.
Molyneux.
Loved that game.
Oh, right.
I feel you've been sitting there thinking about that whole time.
Yeah, so check it out. It's called 2 Point Hospital. It looks awesome.
Yep.
Dungeons 3.
Cool.
Well,
Chris
okay.
is typing that in.
Is it like another?
No, I
game
was
that you've
typing.
been
I
playing?
didn't
Well,
get it.
there's another game I've been playing which is called Dungeons 3, which is basically it's quite similar to Dungeon Keeper. It's similar type sort of cartoony,
What is
fun
it?
graphics. You should know what Dungeon Keeper is.
No, I've never played it.
It's like this, but it's a dungeon.
Yeah, it's basically theme hospital, but instead of a hospital, you're building a dungeon.
Great description.
And it's
there.
actually pretty good. And with Dungeon Keeper,
But I'm guessing you're not treating
or Dungeons
medical
3.
ailments.
You're just keeping heroes out.
You build a dungeon and then you have like demons and you build like a little house for them and they come, you like employ them and they come and like live in your dungeon and you have to like keep them happy and give them mana baths and stuff. And then you have like the horde, like orcs and stuff come in and you have like heroes come in and try to destroy the dungeon. So you have like a dungeon heart and it becomes like a sort of tower defense game as well because you have to put in all traps and stuff and try to stop the heroes from getting to your dungeon heart. And you can also take your monsters and stuff and take them out into the overworld and sort of start fucking up things and turning everything evil.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, so it's kind of got a Warcraft 3 sort of feel to it on the top, and then it's got a Dungeon Keeper. So it's like Warcraft 3 but with a dungeon as your base instead of a base. And it's got like in Dungeons 3, it's got loads of references to Warcraft 3.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, you'd like all the Blizzard references. So it's sort of I just find I find at this time of year there's not that many games out, so I've just been playing all sorts of random games.
Well, October's not that far away, so
Yeah.
Anyway, so
It's called Broketober.
Broketober. That's right, 'cause that's when they all sort of start coming out.
Not for me, because I don't buy games, nor do I play them.
Why are you?
Why are you here?
I don't know.
What about Monsters 4?
Monster Hunter 4. Well, I bought that several years ago and
Monsters Inc.
still keeps me occupied.
Yeah, so you do play games, just play old ones.
Yeah.
Right, just don't play relevant,
No.
current.
I don't know why you invite me here.
You just keep showing up.
I don't want to be rude.
So a game I've actually been playing recently is Phantom
Oh,
Doctrine.
you have been playing it?
I have been playing it in between the current WoW expansion, yes. And I've only played. I mean, to be fair, I've only played sort of a couple of hours of it. And what it is, and if you're a fan or are familiar with the XCOM series, it is that sort of tactical, strategic, turn-based sort of gameplay, and where there's a lot of sort
Love
of
the XCOM games.
yeah. I've actually, because of Phantom Doctrine, I went and looked at XCOM because I never actually played XCOM. I never played them. And I started watching a YouTube
So
video
much
for
fun.
XCOM 2, and I was like, actually, that looks pretty cool. But I went and then bought XCOM 1 because I thought I want to go back through sort of how it sort of progressed. But anyway,
Hang on, no, do you mean XCOM 1 like the 90s? No. Oh, okay.
No,
you
no.
mean the one?
Yeah,
XCOM
the
most recent
Enemy
remake by
Hell.
Firaxis.
XCOM Enemy
Enemy
Unknown. The one that's on Steam.
Oh, okay. Because, you know, they came out, I think, the 80s.
Yeah, I went through this with Grax
okay,
when I
right.
was playing it,
Yeah,
and I was like,
okay.
yeah.
I gave him the full history, man.
Yeah. So Phantom Doctrine, is that staying?
Christ, I can't believe you didn't know that. That's,
Yeah, and you haven't played any Bullfrog
That's such
games
an
either.
shame. This
You
should be a
got a lot of
shame.
holes in your history or
that's
this
very
story about
unusual.
you liking games.
Yeah.
You can see how just liking Blizzard games has negatively affected you.
We'll see.
Your progression.
Yeah, well,
Your progression through life.
yeah. My life has
I don't know why I'm
failed.
saying that.
So Phantom Doctrine is that same style of XCOM, but it's more of a sort of spy versus spy, CIA versus KGB. It's set in sort of 1983, so sort of,
which is not the height of the Cold War.
no. If you do actually look at the trailer for it, it kind of comes up, the peak of the Cold War. But prior to this recording, Michael was giving us a lecture on history.
Maybe
That's
they
probably
thought it was.
debatable as well. Like you can't it's not really like something you can scientifically say yes. You know what I mean?
Gorbachev took power in 85.
This isn't a history.
No, it's not a history lesson, but it's always good to kind of know new things, I guess. But,
Yeah, he took power in 85.
Wouldn't
so
it be subjective though? Subjective.
Well, I mean, the true height would probably be the Cuban Missile Crisis, where that's where the closest we got to nuclear destruction of the entire world. And that's actually...
yeah.
And that
That's
just
a peak.
after the Cuban Missile Crisis, which is 62, that's the true height. And then after that, you have détente with the Brezhnev after Khrushchev. The Khrushchev is replaced by Brezhnev.
Right. So-
and the
Anyway,
leaders of the
get to
of
the point.
both, the leaders of both the USA and the USSR want to obviously avoid another situation like the Cuban Missile Crisis, so they begin to communicate more and have strategic.
So this game is
thoughts.
set in 1983.
Yeah, definitely,
Well,
definitely not the hype of the
Okay,
Cold War.
all right. So it is set sort of...
So don't play it just based on that.
Well,
Yeah.
you sort of have the second, because you have Reagan come into power. I can't remember exactly from the top of my head when Reagan came into power, but he started talking about
Brett's
the
reaching
USSR.
for the mute button.
USSR as the
Anyway.
some information. The Reagan comes into power and he starts like talking a big game about the USSR is an evil empire. We need to defeat them. Blah
stop
blah
him
blah
once
blah.
it starts.
And then basically,
Okay.
yeah. Sorry.
Got it,
Okay.
got it.
All right. So Reagan's an idiot.
I'd
Okay.
love to do a history podcast with you sometime to talk about
Is it
history.
Reagan
but
or Reagan?
I feel like we need
Was
to...
Reagan. Oh, you can say
I
Reagan.
thought it was
Reagan. No,
Reagan,
you can say Reagan. Ronald
Yeah.
Reagan.
Why do I say Reagan? I don't know.
So
I don't know.
Phantom Doctrine.
Yeah.
not set in the height
yeah.
of the Cold War.
Not set.
Set in the Cold War.
According
Is
to
that all right?
Michael.
So what it is, like I said, if you know what sort of XCOM is about, you're going to find a very similar style of mechanics. But yes, it's definitely not as fast as pace as what XCOM is.
No aliens.
So, no aliens. No, there's no aliens. But with this one, because
Brett,
you're...
some would say that the ideological difference between the USA and the USSR, they may as well have been from different planets.
I get it.
Oh my god!
So there are aliens in a way.
Yeah, sorry.
But with this, you have
Illegal aliens.
So in Phantom Doctrine, you actually spend a lot of time, from what I've seen, between XCOM Enemy Unknown, the original one.
It's not the original one. Don't
Not
say
the
that.
original one from a
Why are
couple
you
of
referring to
years ago.
XCOM so much?
Because I just think in terms of...
Is it just a
fan-
reskinned XCOM?
It's just... It kind
And
of.
the aliens are just Russians.
Kind of, yeah.
Do you
but
play
it's all...
Russians or CIAs?
I went CIA.
Oh, so you can play... Yeah, right.
Capitalist,
Well, I mean...
imperialist.
Sounds about right. That's
Sounds
like Chris
all right.
Sally,
Yeah.
capitalist.
I would definitely play the USSR.
But throughout the
No,
missions,
the
from what I've
communism.
seen, is that you're actually
Comrade
there's a lot of
Michael.
infiltration, a lot of sort of stealth work, where you're actually having to sort of get into different rooms and sort of collect different items.
What is
and
it?
stuff.
Is it a so it's a over the top isometric? Is that what you
Well, as I've explained 3 or 4 times, if you played XCOM,
It's basically
yeah, what if you
it's
haven't
basi-
played it? Not everyone's played it.
Okay, so it is a sort of a top-down sort of isometric view. So maybe picture the angle of like a Diablo-style camera view.
Yeah.
When you're
when you do shottings, it goes
when you
different.
have your particular character and you're going to make a move, you actually can only move certain amount of tile sets across the map before
Right.
that particular character's turn comes to an end. And then if you've got a team of 2, 3, or 4 people, then they get the same amount of things. At the end of it, once everyone's turns have been expired, then the enemy has their movements and they will go and sort of do what they need to do and go on their patrols. Or if you're in a gunfight, then they'll be shooting back at you and things like that. So, between the missions, you're actually back in your base where you're having to, based off the intel that you found in the previous mission, you actually have, if you can imagine, like, you know, like the movies where you have like the spy board where it's like, oh, you've got this particular character and you get the string and it's tying up different stories and different sort of,
Oh, that's quite cool.
sort of leaks or tips. And it's like, oh, but, and there's actually one particular point where you have to read through documents and kind of pick out keywords and
Ooh,
go,
that sounds
"Ooh,
horrible.
Yeah, I'm kind of already over it, to be honest.
That sounds horrendous.
So I'm actually at the point now where I've done like a couple of missions and I'm finding it to be quite slow.
Yeah.
So very slow.
Should have gone the
paced.
Russians.
Maybe they're just like,
Ronald Reagan became president of the United States of America in 1981. He did start
cares.
very aggressive rhetoric towards the USSR. Maybe it could be the peak of the Second Cold War.
good to know.
I think you're just getting too stuck on that one thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
loads of
throughout
stuff,
the missions, you can recruit.
I don't think people moved in a turn-based fashion in the Cold War either. Which is,
Very fluid.
It's like your turn.
It's like, oh,
Don't shoot yet. Oh, it's my turn.
Where are the missions set? Are you in like Eastern Europe?
it's European based, yeah. So you're actually
What country?
all countries. So what you actually do, there's like mission boards where you can send out spies and agents to go and investigate enemy agents' activity and do scouting missions. And if something comes up, then you kind of go, oh, I'm going to have to do that. But at the same time as you're off exploring particular areas, the enemy is sort of getting closer to your base, and you might find that the enemy gets wind of one of your sort of intelligence officers, so you have to kind of get in and protect them. If you don't help them out, and they get info on your particular base, they get a bit closer. So there's a bit of back and forth there. You got to recruit people. You train them up with different skill sets, different equipment. So some could have a particular type of like sniper rifles or assault rifles, shotguns, or pistols if you want to go into sort of stealth and all that type of thing. So for me, Luke, I think if you are maybe a fan of that XCOM series and like Spies, it's probably going to be up your alley. For me, it was a bit too slow paced.
Ooh, you're already over it.
Yeah.
What if you're a fan of the Cold War?
I'm going to say the best Cold War game is Metal Gear Solid 5 and Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. Snake Eater is set in the 60s, I'm pretty sure. And obviously Metal Gear Solid 5 is set in the 80s.
Yeah, I reckon Battlefield Vietnam. That's my favourite Cold War game.
Oh, yeah, sure enough. All right, well, then we've got the 70s there too, I guess. Is it set in the 70s? Or, yeah.
Late 60s, 70s.
Yeah. So we have so the trilogy of the Games Vault podcast. Control Alt Record.
we haven't used that name in a long time now.
So the Control Alt Record Cold War trilogy is Solid Snake. What is it called? Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater.
Yeah.
Battlefield Vietnam, and then Metal Gear Solid 5. So there you go.
There you go.
Good. I'm glad we got that established.
Fantastic.
Yes. But
Sorry, everyone.
there you go.
Sorry, everyone,
If you're in,
insane.
if you like that style of game, maybe it's for you. But for me, I gave it a crack. And
You've really sold
Chris
it.
says no.
no.
Do not.
I mean, searching through letters sounds like that's like the worst fucking idea ever.
I guess it's trying to go for that.
But why wouldn't someone say this is boring, guys?
It makes you feel like
we
a
should-
spy. You're like, oh, I'm working out clues.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
reading documents.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
They're not long documents. I mean, they don't.
Yeah,
just,
still.
that codename Big Daddy sort of stand. Oh, that's the
Big Daddy.
All right, there you go. There it is. It's not exactly like it was,
yeah.
difficult.
So
So,
it's just a speed
it
bump.
was just more of a gimmicky. Oh, look at me! And then once you find it, you go back to your sort of, your like your
pin-up
board
board.
where your pin-up board, and it's like, you have to then go and click on a particular pin, and then you drag it
God.
to the next one to draw the string. It's all that type of gimmicky
sounds pretty bad.
stuff. And that was the fast-paced part of the game.
You have smashed the shit out of that game.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Scathing review.
Yeah, wow.
Out of 10, what? One?
Based on a couple of hours gameplay.
based on a couple hours gameplay, I've already put in my Steam refund.
Oh, really?
Wow.
It's just one strike after the
Cold.
other.
So you didn't even. So you played it the less than 2 hours.
Yeah.
Damn.
Wow.
I think
If
it
the
was-
developers
Did
of
you?
this game
Or you always
listen,
going to
I'll be
tell everyone
suicidal.
that you were going to refund it?
yeah.
Oh.
No,
Just leaving it
I
to
thought
the
you were
end.
positive, and
No,
then,
look,
then you just
I like
went-
the way he did it because it sounded positive, and
Yeah.
then he just fucking
yeah,
smashed
that was
it.
a fucking twist.
It was good. I liked it.
Well, good review.
Look, I
was
thought
entertaining.
it did interest me in what it was, how it was looking. I was like, this looks
you're
very
basically saying
cool.
it sounds interesting, but it isn't at all.
I-
It's boring as fuck.
Basically, like when I was actually playing, I was like, there's even like simple things where it's like you can have like a heartbeat sensor. So if you're outside a room and is there someone behind the door? Because if you open the door and there's someone there with a gun, you're fucked. So you'd have like a heartbeat sensor. You put it against the wall to see if there's anyone in there. But the thing is, it's on like a 2 or 3 turn cooldown. So I got to certain points where I was like, I'd use it and then walk to the next wall, go, end turn.
You just
end turn.
and nothing happens.
Nothing happens for
no
2 or
one
3
else
turns.
moves.
And,
It's
it's
like-
like, and then I was like, oh, I can use it again now. Yeah, and nothing happened in the game.
Yeah.
It was a completely sort of silly system. And I was like,
So what you're
Sneaking.
saying is you're actually having more fun playing XCOM Enemy Unknown than
yes,
you did in...
I am, and that has way less mechanics. It's just like the missions are repetitive. The missions are totally repetitive.
You just shoot
It's the
aliens.
same thing, like for every mission. And I'm like, I don't even know what the story is, but I'm having a lot more fun because it's. I think maybe just my taste is more about that sort of futuristic big machine guns and sniper rifles and aliens and blow shit up.
That's what I like about Cold War.
That's what I like about the Cold War. Is that what you said? Yeah.
So, but anyway, look, it is $40 US, Phantom Doctrine, but maybe
Yes.
Not when you're a funder.
not
How
for
many?
me.
40. 40 US.
40 US.
Damn.
So no one's going to be buying it because you've just given it.
Well,
very
see, it's
bad
actually
rating.
got a lot of mostly positive reviews on Steam.
Well, it says mostly positive. I did say that I got it like on the go up a little bit.
74
up,
Metacritic.
up a little bit more. Up a little bit more.
Yeah.
That's quite low.
So GameSpot
74.
9 out of 10.
Yeah.
Tech
You can't-
Radar 9 out of
Can't
10.
trust GameSpot.
Strategy Gamer 5 out of 5.
Yeah.
I guess they want to look like they're smart because they're playing a boring game.
I find Metacritic's pretty good because it's like
Yeah,
an
'cause
average
it's-
and then, well, not an average. It's like I think it is an average probably.
Because some reviewers want to be like, "Oh, we're smart. We play boring games," so they give a good review to like a boring ass
It's like
game.
I cracked
to
the
look smart.
case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's just my thoughts. Parts of it seems very cool in
Oh, there's
concept.
the board that you put all the things.
That's the board thing. Yeah, the pin-up board.
I hate that game. I never
so-
ever played.
Imagine that picking up the pin, having to pull your mouse slowly. That's fucked.
Do you know what's annoying? It actually got to the point where it's like, I'm not reading this, so I just started going.
Just
clicking.
sort of, just
go,
find stuff that works.
This one to this one. Nah, it doesn't. Okay, this one. Nah, this one.
and
It's like,
eventually,
dumb.
Oh yeah.
So you
it's
can
dumb.
just override the
Oh,
mechanics.
so it's an
Just-
adventure game with the world's slowest turn-based strategy game.
Yeah, basically.
Wow, that sounds horrible.
All right, let's stop talking about it.
There you go. So,
Awesome.
Grax.
Oh, we're still going.
Your turn. Oh yeah, we are still going.
Yeah,
We are still
Oh,
going.
we're still
So, Scum is a game. I don't think it's out yet. I think it's
game?
early access. It is a
Yeah,
game.
it comes out in 2 hours.
Oh.
Damn.
Are you staying
Okay.
up to play it, Grax?
I've got to work in the morning, so probably not.
Ah.
But I'll definitely be looking at it tomorrow.
So
for sure.
what is it? So have you? I'm assuming you've obviously bought it. Have you got some information?
It's basically an open world survival game. You
But you don't like those kind of games,
before
Grax?
the stream. Yeah, I was going to say, that's not like me at all. Playing a survival game seems to be my thing lately. It's the premise is that you're an inmate or a prisoner dumped on an island, and you've got an extreme level of customization in how your character's made through height, weight, stats, just crazy amounts of detail in what you do with your character to survive. And everything that you choose about the setup of your character has implications about how you interact with the game world and the game world interacts with you. So if you're overweight, it's harder to run. If you're really
tell me
fit,
about
you
it.
have to eat more
That
carbs.
happens in the real world
all
too.
those, yeah, very much real world. But it kind of reminded me a lot of the Running Man, the movie, and also, as Michael pointed out, the book, where it's a bunch of criminals in a televised sort of TV experience. So you're being filmed while you're playing this game by some people that want to watch for whatever reason. But the level of detail that goes into in the survival mechanics, like needing to pee, needing to crap, apparently if you get your teeth knocked out, you have to find ways to liquefy your food so you can still eat. Like, it's just stupid amounts of detail in that. And I just look at it and go, wow, it looks really complicated. I actually don't know whether I'll like it when I start playing it, but it's definitely got me interested enough to want to have a go.
I mean, there comes a point where it's like
It's the Unreal. It's built on the Unreal 4 engine, so it looks a lot like PUBG in its graphics.
But to be fair, like
and
every game is made on
yeah,
Unreal 4 these days.
It's kind of like PUBG and DayZ mashed up with other
What
survival
engine's
games.
Conan? Is that Unreal 4? It is, isn't it?
probably.
I reckon it is.
It looks like all those games.
I thought you'd know that off the top of your head, Grax. Sorry to catch you out. Hang on, I'll
You
look it up.
caught me off guard, man. You caught me off
How
guard.
many hours have you put into Conan?
I think I ticked over 1,000 today.
Jesus. Fucking
1,000.
That's
You got-
insane.
Yeah, Conan is Unreal 4. My apologies.
And how much is Conan on Steam?
But it's just
That's not
$40.
It's Conan's different in
That's
the
fucking good
graphic.
value.
Like it's Unreal 4 engine,
1,000
but
hours.
it looks completely different because of the world. The world's different. The world of Scum looks like the bushland. That first map of PUBG kind of looks like that.
4 cents an hour you've paid for Conan.
There you go.
Pretty good
look at
value.
that.
That's good
Amazing.
value. Are you
Definitely
getting
got my
close to
money's
getting
worth out
bored
of
of it
that.
yet, do you reckon? After 1,000 hours? Are you just like, I've kind of done everything, or are you just like loving it?
I had done everything in Conan months and months ago. Now it's more about the PvP side and interacting with different people on the server and alliances and wars and combat and that kind of stuff, it's interesting. I suppose that's the same in any PvP game, depending on how you like to play. Making your base strong enough to repel attacks and all that kind of stuff. That's what I'm enjoying
So
about it.
Scum is basically Conan, but with criminals.
Yeah, so you're a whole
Well,
bunch of
Actually, not at all.
No, it's like
You can't build bases, though, can you?
and it seems to be semi-futuristic too. There's robots and stuff as well as other humans that are around.
There's also
Got
supposed to be
some
zombies.
sort of implant.
I think
Oh, really?
there's supposed to be.
Going
So that's where the DayZ reference comes
of
in.
zombies.
Is you're sort of you're running around this massive map, and you're collecting your loot or your armor and your guns and whatever. And not only are you sort of having to fight against other players, but there's like zombies that'll come attack you as well. So that's where I think.
Yeah, and I'm not sure
original-
what the go
original
with
that
the
is.
zombies are, whether they're actual zombies or whether there's some sort of story-related something happened. Don't know. But there's definitely like mechs and robots and stuff getting around as well. So, it's interesting to... I definitely want to find out more about it, that's for sure.
I don't think there's going to be a story. Like, it doesn't seem like a story-based game. Teardrop Tim.
Well, apparently
Released
the
from
goal is
jail.
to get off the island. So you're there with a whole bunch of other inmates, and your whole goal is to survive.
choose
and
what
then
crime you
remove
went
your
into
implant
jail
and
for?
Get off the life.
Yeah, that's
Sorry?
Would anyone choose like being like a rapist?
Jesus Christ.
I'm just saying, like, why
Oh,
would you?
that escalated quickly.
Yeah. I was saying, like, why would you choose that? That's all I'm saying. Why would you?
Grax, is it like is there like public servers, or like is it like you set your own servers up, or what?
There seems to be official
that's what
servers that
Justin
are provided by Devolver,
that again, sorry?
I think they're using the same company, G Portal, the same company that Conan Exiles use, but you can also hire your own servers. I don't know if you can host your own, so that's something that remains to be seen at this stage.
We're just on the Scum website now, looking at a particular page for the character creation, and Brett, that's I think a really good point out is the name that they've used, Jibberbustin.
John,
So it's Jiber,
It's Justin Bieber.
and then if you
Rearranged slightly.
if you put the words around, put the
kind
names.
of
well,
around.
if you watch the
Very weird
videos, the guy that narrates the videos, his name's John Dick. So
Good old
know.
Dickie. Good old Dick John.
Dick face.
So, I just wanted to look at that screen to see what's actually, there's a whole bunch of different skills from strength, constitution, dexterity, intelligence. And under those, there's a bunch of different sliders that you can go for. And one thing like you did sort of say before that I think is really cool is based off, your physique. If you're fat, you're going to sort of run a bit slower. But I think I was actually watching a video today on it as well, where they were saying like you can make yourself to be sort of like a fit sort of muscle man, but you need muscle man. That's what they're called.
Muscle man.
Muscle man.
That's what they call themselves.
But when it comes to actually finding food, you need to actually find food with protein to keep.
yeah,
need to eat
you have to
chicken.
You
eat
need
better
to
quality food,
you
or
have to eat
you
better quality food.
start to lose your muscle mass and all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff.
But as a sort of a stronger, fitter person, you're going to run faster, you're going to run longer. Where if you're a bit on the stomachy side, it's like you can eat anything and probably be fine.
So
but you're going to be
like a Lambo, runs through a lot of fuel, but goes really fast.
yeah.
But a Ford Falcon, very, very, very reliable.
Cheap.
Well,
Lots of parts available.
Yeah, exactly. And if you got a Barina or something, even slower, but cheaper on fuel. So,
Yeah, so
I think
apparently
the
you
analogy
can
works.
play it as single player. Now, I'm not sure how that works. On Steam, it says it is single player, online multiplayer, and online co-op. So I don't know if the single player side of it is an offline experience or whether you've still got to join a server or how that works. So again, it's another thing I'm interested in checking out. But yeah, at the very least, honestly, it sounds fucking complicated. The survival system and the body mechanics and stuff, but it's something I really want to see whether I like it or whether it's just too much.
Comes out in a couple of hours, and you'll be picking it up from tomorrow. So hopefully by the next episode, you've put 1,000 hours into that. And
we'll see. It hasn't got, from what I understand, it hasn't got any building mechanics. You can reinforce structures that are in the game, but I don't think you can build your own stuff. And that's always what's attracted me to games like 7 Days to Die, Conan, stuff like that, being able to just build whatever the hell I want. So we'll see how long it holds my attention for. But for the moment, I'm fairly excited about it. It's looking pretty cool.
All right. Well, hopefully the next episode you can come back to us and let us know what your thoughts are.
So, Brett,
I would love to do that.
Just quickly, but I know you're about to quiz us. I'd like to quiz you.
Oh, crap.
So roll down a little bit. Okay, so you can see 4 statistics there, or attributes. Strength, constitution, dexterity, intelligence. What 2 are missing?
Strength,
Was that
dexterity,
luck?
constitution,
Are you talking to me?
intelligence. Charisma would be one.
Charisma, 1. Yeah, what's the other one?
Wisdom.
Grax wasn't asking.
Wisdom.
Yeah, wisdom.
Yeah, I got them. I got both of them. I did it all myself.
Well, that allows you.
Hey, and if you want to go all the way back to 2nd edition, comeliness is in there too.
What is it?
What
is it?
That wasn't in base 2nd edition.
What's it called, Rex?
Comeliness.
It
How
was
attractive you are.
They added like a sex,
Isn't that
like
kind of
they
charisma
allowed
in a way?
female characters and they put in the comeliness attribute.
Just for female characters.
Yeah, and it was like, how hard are they?
that's kind of shit. Wow.
Very shit.
is
Brett,
shit.
so because you won that quiz, the prize is you get to run the quiz for today.
Yay.
Great segue.
Woohoo! Good job.
So I feel like the video game genre of questions has been done to death. So I'm slightly changing. I'm changing the genre, even though it's a video gaming thing. But it's still kind of staying. No, well, we're doing 1980s pop culture. That's going to be the theme.
Fuck, all right.
Because I feel like people listen to this are probably probably grew up in the 80s and will know that, so they'll sort of relate
I
to
didn't
it.
grow up in the 80s.
Yeah.
You did.
I grew up in the fucking 90s.
Yeah.
You were alive in the 80s, weren't you?
I was
barely conscious.
Fairly conscious.
I was barely conscious. I was not.
Oh, you'll be right. So,
The 90s quiz.
does everyone know how to play Jeopardy? Because I don't.
No, can you explain it? And I'm looking away
Okay,
from
so
your
what you
screen
do,
now.
you have a board, which you guys won't be able to see because we need to make it fair because Grax isn't here.
Yeah, I'm looking over here.
So I'm putting in 3 teams. So basically, we have movies, music, TV, video games, and hodgepodge.
Grax is going to win this. No offense, Grax, but I think
Because
he's
he's-
the oldest.
It's a fact, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, but no offense.
So I'm going to make... I need to make teams
How does
here. You guys just talk for a
Jeopardy
sec.
work?
Yeah, well, run us through. There's a show.
Okay, so basically, what you do, so basically, someone's going to go first, and I'm going to appoint someone to start, and you're going to say one of those 5
Pick a
topics.
category, yeah.
So pick a category, so movies, music, TV, video games. So there is video games in there, there you go. Or hodgepodge, and you say 4, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500. So there's 5 levels of questions. The more you go for, the harder the question is, but you get more
Points.
More points. Yeah. So if you
Right.
go video games for 500,
It's going to be a super hard question.
and it's going to be harder. But if you get it, you get 500. If you get it wrong, you lose 500. But, everyone can have a go at the thing though. So like, say if Chris chooses video games for 500,
Yeah.
I read the thing out. Anyone can have a go.
but
Brett, what about-
if you're the person choosing the category, do you get first go?
No, I know it sounds like it should be like that, but it's not apparently.
But what about, I thought it was weird, like you have to make up the question and you have the answer.
Yeah, so the questions come in the form of like a statement, and you have to the answer has to be in the form of a question.
Yeah.
So if I was like,
Okay.
So if I was like, this,
You should have done a practice question.
I'll just be like, say this cult game has scammed loads of people out of money. You'd be like,
Star
you'd say, what is Star Citizen?
Right.
Right?
Right.
Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah. Is that one of the questions?
No, it's
All right.
I don't think that one's
No,
in there.
it's not in the 1980s.
Yeah.
Because
No,
if,
true.
if Star Citizen was
No,
made in the 80s,
what is
then
Wing
it would be a
Commander?
scam.
Wing Commander wasn't.
Yeah, I think it's a scam. It was made.
All right. I'm just trying to. You can't see this because I can just bring this over
No,
here.
I'm not. I'm looking over here, so I can't see
Okay.
it.
So I'm going to let.
He's not looking. Put your laptop down.
I'm not looking. Trust me,
Alright,
I'm
it's
not
better
looking.
if I
I
can
do
do
have
that
very
way.
good peripheral vision. though.
Okay.
So just be warned.
The only problem is you got anyway. So we'll just do it until like decide someone's going to win.
Yeah. Why don't we just go to 2,000 points?
You're supposed to clear the whole board, but that's like
Fuck that,
that's
we'll
a
be here all
fuckload of
night.
questions. So
First,
I'm going to let Chris start.
Okay.
So movies, music,
favourite,
TV, video games, or hodgepodge.
Let's go movies.
Oh, no.
Movies 4. You got to say
Let's go movies for 400.
Oh,
Let's go with the big gun.
movies for
all right.
400.
Do we have to? But if we want to answer, we'll call our names first to go.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Okay, that's our buzzer.
This movie series started in the 80s, but did not originally start with the notorious Jason Voorhees as the
Chris.
protagonist. Chris.
What is?
Grax.
What is? No,
No,
Hey, Chris is already in there.
Shout over him.
Voorhees.
No, I'm just
What is Halloween?
giving him pressure.
No, hang on.
That is incorrect, Chris.
I think
Chris.
That is
So
incorrect.
you lose
Grax.
400. Grax?
What is Friday the 13th?
Correct.
I knew it was.
Even I knew
that. I knew it was either Halloween or Friday. Friday. I knew it was.
It was a day. It was a place. It was
Damn
a
it.
word.
Okay, Grax, your choice.
So winner always chooses.
Yeah,
Is that how they do it on
that's
the
right.
show?
Yeah, I think so. I haven't looked at it properly, but
Let's go games.
So
for
Grax is on 400 points. Who's going to
Yeah.
keep track of
500.
this?
I've got it all here.
Oh wow!
I'm minus 400.
Yeah, you're minus 400.
Oh wow!
So you
Fuck.
owe, yeah, it's
All
money.
right,
So you
so-
owe me
okay.
$400 at the moment.
What?
We'll talk about that later. Okay, sorry. What do you want, Grax?
Let's go games, video games for 500.
Video games for
big
500
boy.
for the big bucks. Okay.
Feeling confident after one.
This
win.
popular football game series started in the 80s.
Michael.
Grax.
I heard Michael first.
Madden. What is Madden?
Yeah, okay. Correct.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Nice. That's good. Work there.
Topical at the moment.
Michael,
I
winning
just want to say
500.
that I think lag worked against me on that one.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's a
said
bit
topical,
hard. I'm trying to
yeah.
give you a
Very
bit of a
topical.
benefit of the doubt there, but it felt like more than.
That was a bit
should
insensitive
be,
of
if
you
that
putting the
makes
Madden
sense.
question
Yeah,
there.
it's
This
quite
particular
sad,
time.
Yeah,
the
after
shooting.
what happened yesterday, day before. But, you know.
Oh, well, these guys, I didn't make these questions up. This is
okay.
this is
Oh,
a
so you
preset thing.
cheated. So okay,
I
interesting.
wouldn't about the Madden. Okay.
All right, you get to pick what's the next category.
Okay, what are the options again?
Movies, music, TV, video games.
I'm going to go for
hodgepodge.
music 200.
Music 200.
Ooh, here we go.
This band released such albums as Master of Puppets.
Chris.
Grax.
I think I heard Chris first, and I think
Bullshit. No, that was me, man. 100%.
Nah, I went in for
I-
it too, Grax, and I definitely heard
Grax, you were way behind Chris though. Like it was.
Oh,
I know you know. I know you know. The,
Just say the answer now. and you
okay.
don't get-
I'll give it to Chris because he's behind.
What is Metallica?
Yeah, that's fucking easy.
So do you always just have to say what is the thing?
no,
Can we just say
Well,
the
you're supposed to
thing?
say who is Metallica for that one.
That's dumb. Like, why did they? Make
that's
it-
how
Why don't you
Japanese
just say
played.
the answer?
That's the rules.
Why don't you just say the answer? So you just have to say what is.
No, you have to say it in the form of a question. We're
dumb.
doing it right. So fucking shut
That's
up.
dumb.
All right. Okay, Chris.
Well done, Chris.
Oh, let's go to the
I just want to say, like,
Yeah.
if I was recording on this end, but when you said master, I had said Grax by the time you said master.
That's a long delay.
Chris said it.
It is a bit. I know it's a disadvantage, Rex. So I'll try my best. It just sounds like such a long distance between.
I know.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is
And,
where.
and also, I'm giving it a little bit in the favor of the person who's losing to keep it equal as well. This is more interesting.
Oh, okay.
All right, let's go hodgepodge.
Hodgepodge for
300.
300.
Ooh.
This most important WWE annual main event was
Chris.
Yep.
What is
Chris.
Royal Rumble?
Damn, boy.
That is incorrect.
Oh,
What?
Oh, not damn, boy. Sorry about that.
Does anyone else want to jump in?
What? Can you finish the answer, please? Question.
For the main event was broadcast for the first time in the 1980s.
What did you say? Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
Michael.
Michael.
Okay. I did see I did hear Grax at the same time. So
Okay, I'll give it to Grax.
What is SmackDown?
Nope, that's wrong.
Michael, what is? Actually, I'm not going to say anything because I don't think I
You don't
know,
have.
so
You don't
I
have to.
wanna-
You don't
yeah,
have to have a
fuck it.
crack. You don't have to have a go.
What is the answer?
It's what is WrestleMania? It's fucking easy, guys. Come
of
on.
course.
I was going to say a cage match, which is the dumbest thing.
very
I've just lost
Quite
point.
non-specific.
So does that mean Michael gets that by default, or is that just...
No, he doesn't
no,
get
no one
anything.
gets
So
anything.
Michael's on 500. Chris is on minus 500. Grax is on 100.
Huh?
So
What?
You
Am
lost
I on
points.
100? I had
You lost
I won a
points
full
because you
100.
lost, you just lost 300 points for
getting
Yeah.
SmackDown wrong.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All
So
right,
don't
yeah,
if you
understand.
don't know, don't have a go because you'll lose points basically.
Copy that. All right.
So in this situation, I'm not actually sure who gets to choose.
Loser.
I'll just pick
Well, there's
someone.
2 losers.
You're the biggest loser.
Yeah. Chris, yeah, you choose because you're coming last.
Let's go back to video games for 500.
We've had 500,
yeah, so
so you got to go.
Oh,
yeah,
400.
400.
Okay. All right, I need to get
Here we go.
back into this.
This Atari video game was so bad.
Michael. E.T. What is E.T.?
I think that's right.
Fuck.
Yep.
I fucking got
That's
ya.
really good.
I got ya.
Yeah, so bad. The company's only solution was to bury it in the desert
I knew
in New
it.
Mexico.
I knew it. As soon as he said so bad.
They recently, I remembered that too because they recently uncovered that landfill.
So what happened?
Like,
they just buried. They were
probably
just like,
6
we have to.
months.
We
Yeah.
have to destroy this.
Yeah, they just
Why don't,
buried
it seems really extreme.
It's an absolute shocker.
Why don't they just
We're gonna have to
delete
get rid of
the
it.
game if you really?
Could have just like chucked it in a bin and set it on fire.
Yeah. Okay, Michael.
Give it to
Apparently,
people.
cartridges were indestructible back in the 80s.
No, that's true.
What are the options again?
So movies, music, TV, video games, or hodgepodge.
Say that again. Sorry.
Movies, music, TV, video games.
TV
for
300.
300. TV of 300. This TV show starring a young Johnny Depp was recently remade.
Grax,
Grax.
what is 21 Jump Street?
That is correct.
Well done, Grax. I would not have got
Grax
that.
going back. Grax on
Glad I didn't just jump in for the sake of it.
Grax on 400,
I
Michael on
would have
900,
lost.
Chris on minus 500.
What's Grax on?
Grax on 400. You're on
I
900.
got to play smart.
Okay. Grax?
What are the dollar values left for TV?
So we got 100, 200, 400, and 500.
It's all of them.
Let's go TV for 500.
If that
TV
Johnny
for
Depp
500.
one was 300, this is going to be an absolute hard one.
This TV series feature a family called the Tanners and was most famous for launching the careers.
Grax,
Grax?
what is Full House?
So easy. Yeah.
That's for 5. That's not.
Yeah, that wasn't that
I
hard.
was thinking Full House just because I heard family.
Grax making a comeback. So Michael and Grax are tied at 900.
Yeah, right.
Grax, what would you like?
Music for what do we got left in music?
Everything except 200.
That's for 400.
Music for 400. Okay. This rap group that was straight out of Compton.
Michael.
Michael?
What is NWA?
Yes.
Who are NWA?
This is a
It
stupid
says
game.
what is actually on here. But
Yeah, what is
it's only stupid because you're losing. Michael?
Music 500. Do we have that?
Yep. Music
Okay.
500.
I think 500s aren't necessarily really hard if that Full House one's anything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's not super hard.
Yeah.
I don't think these
Potentially.
questions are hard anyway.
No,
I think this is a very
this
easy
is a
quiz.
good level because I'm
Well, Chris
excited.
is finding it hard.
I'm struggling a little bit.
Okay. This singer went from the world of doom metal to becoming a classic rock icon in the 80s.
Grax,
Grax.
who is Billy Joel?
No. Incorrect.
Okay, give us
Oh,
give us
okay.
the
That's a
whole
harsh one.
Oh,
So
buddy, yeah.
this singer went from the world of doom metal to becoming a classic rock icon in the 80s with such hits as Bark at the Moon and Crazy Train.
Oh, fuck.
Any of you
Can I have another go?
No, you cannot.
Michael. I don't know. No, I have no idea. I'm not gonna risk the point.
Okay, no. All right. No?
No, I'm not
Okay.
going
I know
to
it.
bother.
Who is Ozzy
know it.
Osbourne?
Oh,
Ozzy Osbourne.
damn.
Yeah.
Park at the Moon.
Yeah, Bark at the Moon, 100%.
Doom metal.
Okay, so
It wasn't doom metal because in the 70s it was just heavy metal. Like it wasn't called doom metal back then.
this is
Doom
look. I'm
come
reading
out
the
later?
thing. yeah. I'm gonna let Chris choose.
Oh yeah. Let's go movies. What's left? So
Quite a lot.
Points.
Everything except 400.
Let's go 500 movies.
500. You're gonna make a comeback.
I need to.
Here we go.
Because I did well last time.
Oh, this is ridiculous. This movie featured a cyborg from the future.
Michael.
Fuck.
Terminator. What is Terminator?
Yeah, that's fucking so easy.
It's just like you need. Yeah,
That's just stupid.
Yeah.
That's stupidly easy. And this is the actual question because I didn't even finish it. This featured a cyborg from the future saying such classic lines as "I'll be back." I wonder what that is. I don't know. It's a hard one. That's 500.
Could
That
be
should have been
anything.
that should have been a 100.
That's a
really.
100
Yeah.
question.
Yeah, I agree. I think the 500s are just like
I don't. It seems to be in reverse order. Maybe I don't know. It's like 500 is easy.
Maybe it's just trying to. Yeah.
Michael.
what am I on, by the way?
You're on 1800. Grax is on 400.
Okay.
Grax-
Hodgepodge 400. Let's try. And
Hodgepodge
wrap this
400.
up.
Is it first to 2000? If you can hit this one.
Actually, why don't I go Hodgepodge 200 so I'm not risking too much?
Hodgepodge 200. Yeah, you pay
I
smart.
didn't think that through.
Playing
Getting you to
smart.
change your points.
Okay.
Getting you to change your points because you only need 200.
Oh, okay. This movie introduced the world to the DMC DeLorean.
Chris,
Grax.
Nah, Chris got that. Chris.
what is Back to the Future?
Yes, well done.
I got to at least get to 0.
I don't even need. Yeah.
What am I on? Minus 2.
You're on minus 300.
These are so easy, but it's fun.
Yeah.
They could be slightly harder.
Yeah, I think it's. I'll get a harder one
definitely
next
cool
time.
Video games for. I'm 300 away. Is there 300 left?
If you get 300, then you'll be on 0.
Okay, let's go for that.
Okay, video games for 300.
I need a
Going for the shooting for the high.
He's got to
mark.
break even.
Yeah. Okay. I suppose who can get it first. This video game introduced the world to a pair of Italian.
Chris,
Oh, fuck off.
what is Super Mario Brothers?
bullshit.
Or Mario Brothers, whichever way they want to do it.
Yes.
Yes, I'm on
Now
0.
You could have just said what this introduced the
That's it.
world
I'm
to
fold. I fold.
Italian.
I'm out. I'm done.
No, I think we keep going. A couple more. Come on.
No, he's done.
No,
'cause he's
I'm
on
folding.
0. Like
I'm
he's,
folding.
You can't fold.
He's on his PB.
It's like poker.
He's done his PB.
We just don't. Well, you need to choose the next question. So you just don't participate then if you don't know it.
Let's go hodgepodge for 400.
I wanted to get a good contest going, but it's not really happening.
He's done good, Brad. Don't worry.
Okay. Hodgepodge for 400. Movie audiences were introduced to Maverick, Goose.
Chris,
Grax.
Oh,
Chris.
Top Gun, isn't
what
it?
is Top Gun?
Yeah. Okay. Well, Chris, now you're equal with Grax, so you're making a comeback.
Yeah.
So if you want to keep,
I mean, if this is going to be snatched out of my jaws, I'm going to be very annoyed.
I think you guys might be able to make a comeback here.
hodgepodge for 500.
Hodgepodge 500.
I've had a
This-
taste of victory.
This movie series starred Ralph Macchio. I'm sorry.
Chris. Oh, no, I'll give that to Grax.
Grax?
Because I think he was only just
What
behind. in
is
lane.
the Karate Kid?
fuck?
Yeah.
Damn it.
Grax on 900.
I wouldn't have known that one.
No.
So there's a good little contest going. Okay. Grax,
What have we got left?
we're nearly going to clear the board. Well, what category do you want? I'll tell you what's left. Movies. Music 100 or 300?
300.
300. This band became famous for such hits as Bad Medicine.
Chris.
Grax.
I think Chris had it.
That was
Oh.
who is Bon Jovi?
Yeah.
I wouldn't have known that one.
No.
So you guys go, yeah. Okay, Chris. So now we got Michael 1800, Grax 900, Chris 700.
Good job it didn't fold.
Yeah, see?
What's movies? What's left in movies?
Movies 100, 200, or 300.
What's in TV shows?
100, 200, or 400.
400 TV
He's
shows.
gone for the big guns. He's fucking.
I'm going to
sneaky.
go, just so this doesn't drag on too long, I'm going to do, maybe we'll do like 2 more, something like that. But you can still beat, you're not probably going to beat Michael, but you can beat Grax. All right. This adult cartoon series. Oh, fuck it, Jesus.
Chris. What is The Simpsons?
Yes.
God damn it.
I can't believe this question. Like, I just have to read it because it's
I
so
just knew
easy.
as soon as you
Premiered in
said
the
it.
80s, introduced the world to the Yellow family. That includes Homer, Marge, Lisa, and Mag. Like, if you don't know that, you should just kill yourself.
I just knew what it had to be as soon as you
Adult
went this
cartoon,
adult,
yeah.
and then he started laughing because of how obviously stupid.
Yeah,
it should
I'll
be.
just. Some of them is really dumb. Most of them.
Damn. So what is it? What's
Well, it's kind of good now.
Okay. All right.
It's coming down to that.
Chris Grax is trailing with 900. Chris is 1100. Michael 1800.
I'm so
All right,
stressed.
what
I'm so
500
stressed.
is left?
There's the highest one left is a movies for 300.
Movies
Something like that.
300.
Movies 300.
I'm so stressed. I'm feeling so
You should have
annoyed.
gone for that.
Yeah, because you're catching up.
I've been resting on my laurels. Oh boy.
This movie featured the I don't know what that means. Titular character skipping school to drive a Ferrari.
Michael. Ferris
Nah,
Bueller's
fuck
Day
off.
Off.
That was me, man.
What is Ferris Bueller's Day Off?
It's really hard to know who was first. It's just because Michael's just so loud over my ear.
I know, but that's the thing, because that's like, because if Grass comes in like a split second later.
But it sounded like a second or 2 seconds later.
It wasn't. That wasn't.
You don't reckon?
No.
What do you reckon it was? I mean,
This is making or breaking a win, so I don't want to know.
yeah.
Grax have it. Let's make it.
All right, I'll give it to Grax. Okay, so now I'm gonna have to keep going because now it's like 1100,
Well, hang on,
1200.
we didn't get
Just wipe that
You
question.
say, well,
and do another one.
Grax, what were you going to say?
Ferris Bueller's
Oh,
Day Off.
it's already like I didn't even ask him what it was. I just assumed he knew. It's so fucking easy.
Yeah.
All right, let's do one more and decide who wins out of.
All right,
Chris
so
and Grax.
next.
Okay, so Grax, pick a topic.
Games.
Games
So
for
you say
1,000
games.
points.
Video games for 1 million. This is video games for 200. I'm going to do, and this is going to decide. Michael, you start. Let Chris and Grax do this one.
What?
Well, I don't know. Well, Michael's already won,
okay,
so I
okay.
figure it's like competition. Okay. This yellow 3/4 circular character.
Chris.
Grax.
That's another one
I
of
think
those.
I think Grax though, because he was pretty close behind you.
3/4
Grax?
circular. I don't know what that means.
Grax. Grax.
Who is Pac-Man?
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
3/4 circular.
All right, let's end it there. So
Wow.
Michael wins 1800. Grax second with 1400.
Yay.
Chris on 1100 with the comeback. I think it's still pretty impressive.
Adrenaline's
Yeah.
pumping.
I couldn't go out with like
The rest of them are just like 100, so we won't go into that. So yeah, that's good work there, Michael. You won that.
Well done. That was kind of good. That was a good quiz.
Good format.
Next time we'll find one where the questions are like just not
Represent
so
their points.
ridiculously easy. I couldn't help laugh because it's just
Which
like,
character did Arnold Schwarzenegger play when he came back in time?
Yeah, it's like
As a robot.
and it gives you like
Yeah.
so many clues. It's like the cyborg who goes goes back in time. Like it also says that I'll be
With a
back.
horrible
It's like, you don't
accent.
even need that as well. Like
I guess it's like if you were 10, like it might be hard.
yeah.
Because it'd be slightly obscure.
Okay, we're wrapping up
All
there.
right, I think
that's
that's
1 hour
it.
34.
So, do we want to quickly just go back over the little thing that you said at the start
Yeah.
about?
Yeah, so if
People
you share
sharing
the
the episode.
podcast and then you send us a screenshot of
Where can
you
people send
share-
it?
Pardon me?
Share it. Where can people share it?
They can share it on Twitter, Google Plus if they have it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Google Plus.
Facebook,
no one uses that.
Facebook, or if they.
You could even go and like put our names on a piece of paper and shove it in people's
Yeah,
letterboxes.
you could. Yeah, you could do that. You could go to your local supermarket and like their pin-up boards.
Yeah.
you could just write the
Lost 4 idiots.
the URL. You could put the URL there. You could record yourself having a conversation with a colleague saying you should check out this podcast.
Yeah.
Anything really. Just show that you've shared it and show that you've shared it in the Facebook community, and we'll
Give us
say
a little
what-
message if you want to.
say whatever.
Hi,
you want.
Mum.
And for every new
read it
like
out.
that we get on our Facebook page, Michael will harass you that many times.
What? Why would I do that?
That's not a bonus. He does that for free though.
I don't harass anyone.
Sounds like
Yeah, true.
it sounds like an EA pre-order bonus.
yeah.
That's terrible.
We'll take
Yeah.
blood from
There
you
you go.
for pre-ordering our game. That's
Very good.
That's it.
All
All right.
right, we won't do that.
No. But that's it. Thank you so much for listening, and we will catch you again in the next episode. Until then,
What's our email address? You should give
it
that out.
is ctrlaltrecord@gmail.com.
Good. Okay. Email us stuff. Bye.